how the band Kansas made sure their hits, their songs, sounded good on an old crappy stereo. It was a common thing that happened in the 70s. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.
It's with Carry On Wayward Son, going back to that, I remember the quote that the boys in 10cc played I'm Not in Love through a transistor radio. They wanted to make sure it sounded good on a transistor radio. And it was just a few days ago, I heard Carry On Wayward Son on someone's really bad stereo, and I thought, it still sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, I remember back until recent times in the studio, not until at least not 15, 20 years ago, I can't remember the name of these small speakers that were in every studio that were to simulate, like your old car stereo. A lot of times, you would be listening in mono. They would go to this one speaker to hear it, and then back out, back in, and at a very low level to make sure you could hear everything. And everything was mixed to the big room, your smaller speakers, and then we keep referring to this one again. And then you make little adjustments to that because you want it to represent in whatever medium it was being heard in. And I don't see that anymore. But it explains why a lot of older things sound good. They sound even. You can hear everything on these older recordings to this day because that third checkpoint was always done.
The two albums you had before the breakthrough, like two albums in 75, Song for America and Mask. I remember that's when a friend of mine brought the records over. He said, these guys, I don't know why they're not bigger than they are, man, but it's going to break. It's going to happen. Like even the title song for Song for America, great tune, Down the Road, what a rocker. But I mean, that was a great, even before the breakthrough, that was a great band, putting out fantastic music.
We were playing, some of the groups we were playing with, like Queen, they sit on the side of the stage and go, what are they doing? How do they do that? Why are they so tight? Why do they sound so much like their record? First album, either when it came out or right before it came out, we did a show in Parsons, Kansas with Blue Oyster Cult. And Phil was talking to Buck in the last few years. He was going, we just stood there with our jaws open, just going, what is this? What are they doing? What are these guys from here? How is this happening?
I mean, no one sounded like you guys.
It's kind of hard to. We grew up in the Midwest with each one of us having different influences, but a commonality and all playing in bar bands and having to cover all the music of the day, etc. And then once the original six got together, we didn't. There's always songs you had to play. Well, we're playing at this club, and here's the new song. We got to play that. And so we'd say, we don't want to play it, but we'll rewrite it. So we might add a prelude, and maybe we'll dump the middle section and write our own, and we'll do it double time or something. There was always things we were doing to songs that we didn't want to play to turn them into something we didn't mind. And in hindsight, I realized that what we were really learning to do was to be not only ourselves, but to be honest to ourselves, to follow our nature. Even with other people's material, we could twist and turn that into something that we could stand to perform. So we had a need to be outside of the normal box. We wanted to start recording original material. Excuse me, but we didn't want to follow the approach of what's on the radio. We didn't want to just step in line with that. We were very anti that, actually. So, and then seeing all the progressive, I don't even know what the term was at the time, but what is now called progressive stuff coming out of the late 60s, 70s, out of Europe and England, early Toll, etc. Yes, that we've been thinking inside the box. And you just removed the box and let all the parts spill over the floor. And that's when you realize you can put it back together any way you want. There are no rules. You can sing about anything. You can, 4/4, it doesn't matter. These chord changes, throw them away and start over. It was eye-opening, not just musically, but philosophically. It's okay to do this. Not only is it okay, it is your nature. Do it now. And I think we just wanted to be uniquely ourselves, but we're traditionally a Midwestern rock band. But we wanted to keep that feel, but we wanted the music to be written of a more progressive variety. And, with violins and things like that, and keyboards are really coming into play. And all that majesty would be the layer of icing over this cake that was built on a foundation of a solid rock band with a tremendous singer. And that was really what made us a little bit different than a lot of our contemporaries, because they had a bit of a lighter touch, more schooled. We weren't schooled at all. And Phil, Dave, Hope, and I did not have a light touch at anything. About from going to Burger King to playing music. Everything was very heavy-handed and aggressive. That's how we worked. And I think that just set us apart. We were more the rhythm section of Mitch Ryder than Detroit Wheels than we were the rhythm section of Marconi.
We'll have more from Rich Williams coming up in the next few days. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. Remember, you can help our channel. There are links in the description. Join our Patreon. Check out our podcast. There's all the information in the description. And, of course, all the latest from Kansas right there for you as well. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.